Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks. Week 12 of the NFL is here, and Week 11 is behind us. Thank goodness, a lot of home teams and a lot of dogs covered last week. I did horrible in my video pick again. I was doing so well in the last few weeks. I got 0-3-1 last week. My Twitter is still staying strong at 2-1 on the under and overs, bringing me a grand total of 2-4-1. Overall, I'm 44 in the year. Like I said, under 500. I'm best at my Twitter picks. Like I said, I'm over 500 there. So I did win in my teaser, and I did win in my survival pick. So not all is lost. So let's get to the fan favorites comments of the week. Again, I'm going to do another 3. Why not? Raise some spirits. So give me on. Let's see. We got James Zilstra. Can I get a stiff drink? You sound like you're drunk. Can I? What's with the cowbell? You should have a celebration like a New Year's Eve sound. Punctuation. That's the key of this sentence. Next, we got Baby 101, long-time listener on this channel. Known him for years. In the future, I'll be leaving a-hole comments so I can have a contender for a comment of the week. Come on, bro. Don't do me like that. I hear ya. I watch all you guys. I read them all. Just because I don't mention them all in my videos, I get several hundred. I just pick out the best ones I like. And the best comment I do like this week is from Mad Pepper, another longtime fan. The guy from the future, because he does really well, and I wish he'd have a YouTube video. He says, the obvious bets are always the ones that lose. You are not kidding me. I thought for sure last week I had 4 straight winners. They're so obvious. All of them just, poop the bed. So hopefully this week doesn't do that. Don't forget to visit my sponsors, Custom Jerseys and Pro. Get your order in now. Get it by Christmas. Check it out. Link below. I also have a little trailer at the end of the video. Pretty cool. Bovada. Check them out if you want to, place a few things on wagers online. Check out my Twitter. Awesome place to go, especially if you like the dogs. And then the YouTube Prognosticators group. They are Facebook. All those links is below. Even the Facebook link. Check them out and meet some great people. So let's get on with the show. And my number 4 bet of the week, my upset pick of the week, we got the New Orleans Saints traveling to the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are a 6-point home dog. Like the Drew Brees is out. They got a couple of backups. They did pretty good last week. I granted, they did better than anybody thought, and they did win and cover. This week, I think they're just getting off that little high horse. Can they do it 2 weeks in a row? I think they'll be ready. Denver will be. They're at home. It's a tough place to play. Second week at home will be well rested. The stats look great for New Orleans, but this is with Drew Brees. 7-0 straight up, except for the last week. And the last 7, 10-1 straight up and on the road. Let's say Drew Brees. But they're 1-4 ATS versus Denver. So they don't play Denver well. Denver's 4-6. Their last win was last week in Miami. At home versus Miami, and they actually did pretty well against Miami. One of my I lost on my number 1 bet. They just destroyed Miami. Denver is 5-1 straight up versus New Orleans. So they play New Orleans well. They play well at home, and I'm taking Denver +6. My 3rd bet of the week, we got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the Atlanta Falcons. Las Vegas Raiders are a 3-point road dog. Las Vegas, 6-4. They lost last week to Kansas City in a tough battle. They did cover that spread. They're 5-1 ATS in their last 6. 6-1 ATS on the road. Atlanta, not doing so well. Didn't cover the spread last week. They are 3-7 on the season. They lost versus New Orleans against a backup, 3rd string Taysom Hill quarterback, unbelievable. They are 1-4 ATS at home this year. So yeah, give me Las Vegas Raiders -3. My number 2 pick of the week, we got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kansas City Chiefs are a 3.5-point road favorite. Kansas City, like I said, I had last week. They didn't quite cover the spread against the Las Vegas Raiders last week. A divisional game. This is a non-divisional game. Here they are. They are 9-1 in the season, only losing 1 game all year. They won their last 5 games. Kansas City did against Buffalo, Denver, Jets, Carolina, and Las Vegas last week. They are 15-4 ATS in the last 19 games. So obviously 2 of those 4 games are from Vegas Raiders. So everybody else, they're pretty much 15-2. Let's see, they're 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games, and 5-0 on the road this year. Brady's struggling overall, through some bad passes. A lot of people say, yeah, he might bounce back, but I don't see him bouncing back against the number 1 team in the NFL right now. Tampa Bay is 5-4, and they won their last game. They lost their last game against the Rams Monday night. They got a short week this week. I know Kansas City's on back-to-back road games, but Kansas City, they're predicted to win it all this year again. So give me Kansas City Chiefs minus 3.5. And my number 1 pick of the week, we got the New York Giants traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. New York Giants are a 5.5-point road favorite. Giants, 3-7. Everybody in that division is 3-7. They won their last 2 games against Washington, Philadelphia, 2 divisional teams, making them a great favorite. So they know if they win, they can get this division. So they're 6-1 ATS in the last 7, and 8-0 straight up on the road in the last 8 games. Cincinnati, just lost their quarterback. Joe Burrow's out for the season. They were interviewing people to come in and play this week, so it tells you how bad the Bengals are. Once Joe Burrow went out last week, and they were ahead too. It was like 9-0 or something like that, and Washington just came back and destroyed them. Once Joe Burrow went out. So this week they were interviewing. They had Kevin International and Alex Migo. Is that right? He got cut by Seattle, then got cut by Jacksonville, then got cut by Houston. So 2 new quarterbacks that might be starting versus the Giants this week. Cincinnati at home is 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games. They are 6-3 ATS in the last 9, but that's with Joe Burrow. He always keeps it close. Overall record 2-7-1. Lost their last 2 against Pittsburgh and in Washington. So give me the New York Giants minus 5.5. Alright, that about wraps it up. If you want to see my Thursday games, I have a separate video for that. Go check out that on my channel. I'm just talking about the Sunday games and the Monday night game. Thursday, I just have a special video just for Thanksgiving. Check them out. 3-team teaser. I got the New York Giants at a pick'em. You got Cleveland Browns at a pick'em. And I got Miami at a pick'em. Pretty easy 3-team teaser. Just wipe out all the points or take them on the money line. Either way you like to do it. Those are my 3 teams. I hit it last week. Hope to hit it again this week. My survival, if you're still in it, those didn't get hit by the Vikings last week. Be the New York Giants. That's my favorite. Because obviously no one's going to pick Giants throughout the whole year. It'd be a good time to bet them as they're going to play against a beaten Cincinnati Bengals team. Alright, let's just jump into the rest of the games. I got the Chargers traveling to Buffalo. Chargers are a 5.5-point road dog. They are 3-7. They won their last 1 game against the Jets where they didn't even cover. They are 1-4 ATS in the last 5. We got Buffalo off a bye at home. Extra time to prepare. 7-3. Lost their last game against Arizona in that rough Hail Mary call, that Hail Mary play, man, that was a great game though. Buffalo 2-4 ATS in the last 6. Here they are, like I said, they had time to prepare. 5.5 points, a little too high. I was thinking more of a 3-point game. But my final score, I had to come up with that. I got 27-20. I like Buffalo on this game, so I give me Buffalo minus that 5.5 points. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans traveling to Indianapolis Colts. Tennessee Titans are a 3.5-point road dog. Tennessee 7-3, Indianapolis 7-3 as well. A couple great teams, both of them. I think a little bit overrated. Both of them, you don't know who's going to show up. It's just in this game here, who's going to show up? It would be great if both the best of the two teams showed up. It'd be a great game. Tennessee won their last game. They beat Baltimore. They're 1-4 ATS in the last 5. Indianapolis won their last 2 against Tennessee just 2 weeks ago. And Green Bay, Indianapolis won 2 weeks ago, 34-17. It was a close game all the way to the end. Then just Indianapolis just pulled on the steam. Just same what they did Green Bay last week. Just right at the end there. Indianapolis 6-3 ATS in the last 9. 5-1 straight up home. I'm taking Tennessee on this one. It's always hard to sweep someone in your division twice and cover the spread both times. I got Tennessee winning this game, 24-21. So I'm going to take Tennessee plus the 3.5. Next, we got the Carolina Panthers traveling to Minnesota Vikings. Carolina Panthers are a 4.5-point road dog. Bridgewater might play. He's questionable, but I believe he's still going to play. And how they beat the Lions. Oh my God, that's another story. On a side note, Patricia's only hanging on to his job because he has this much of a chance of getting in the playoffs. They promised him they'll keep his job, if he keeps it goes in the playoffs. But he's this close. He's still in the running somehow, just like Minnesota. Unbelievable. But anyways, Carolina 4-7. They got the 1 win against Detroit. They're 6-3 ATS in the last 9. 4-1 ATS on the road. Minnesota 4-6 lost to Dallas last week. I don't even know how they did that. They were winning most of the game too. So, like I said, they're still on the hunt along with Detroit. So, no firings is on Minnesota or Detroit. These next few weeks will tell the difference, and we'll see something happen if unless they both make it to the playoffs. Minnesota 6-2 ATS in the last 8 games. I like Minnesota in this game. They're the back against the wall. They are at home. They need a win. They need to stay in and try to get both teams, Minnesota and Detroit, could have got to 500 last week, but they both blew it. Unbelievable. These two teams are so much alike. Nice money. So yeah, I got Minnesota winning 21-10. So give me Minnesota minus 4.5. Next, we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cleveland Browns 7-3, won their last 2 games. Houston and Philadelphia. They are 1-4 ATS in the last 5 games versus Jacksonville. Who's going to play Minshew or Luton? I think that's how you pronounce it. They are 1-9, lost their last 9 games. 2-6 ATS in the last 8 games. So yeah. If it's supposed to rain this game, and if it rains, it might be a closer run game. But I think Cleveland still has the edge, even if it does rain. I like the under, which I probably have that on my Twitter. Check out my Twitter page as well for my under and overs, my 3 best. Cleveland's probably going to be there. Right now, it does show signs it might rain. Cleveland's, like I said, the better run team. And I don't know who's going to play, Minshew or Luton. It doesn't matter. So give me Cleveland minus 6.5. Like I said, I got this score. If it rains, 24-10 Cleveland. So give me Cleveland minus 6.5. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to the New England Patriots. Arizona Cardinals are a 2.5-point road favorite. Cardinals 6-4, lost to Seattle in the last game. There are back-to-back road games, traveling cross country, Seattle to New England, Boston, we should say. They are 4-2 straight up in the last 6, 1-6 ATS in the last 7 versus New England. So they don't play New England well or play in New England well. New England is 4-6. And lost their last game against Houston, and 2-5 ATS in the last 7. Cam Newton played actually pretty well. I think he was like the 3rd passing leader last week, even though they lost in Houston. And he actually played a pretty decent game considering he lost. But who I go? 4-6 team versus 6-4 team. It's only 2.5-point spreads under a field goal. New England will be a sharp play, but New England's playing so bad. Burkhead, I believe, is out too on New England, so they have more injuries. New England's just probably looking forward to next year. I know I like Bill Belichick. He's a great coach. I'm not a big Cam Newton fan, even though it did play good last week. But I'm taking Arizona in a wipe as they lost last week. They need to stay sharp in the division. Only 2.5 points, so give me Arizona to win. Minus 2.5 points says I got this score 21-10. Next game, I got the Miami Dolphins traveling to the New York Jets. The Miami Dolphins are 6-1, lost their last game in Denver. They're 5-1 ATS in the last 6 games. Obviously, that one is in Denver. 5-0 straight up in the last 6. They are 5-0 ATS in the last 5 games versus the Jets. So they play the Jets really well. The Jets are 0-10, lost last 10 games, obviously. The 3-7 ATS in the last 10 have not won a game this season at all. So Jets, I think they're just moving on to next season. Miami's number 4 defense. That's why I was so shocked last week that Denver beat them. Miami number 4 defense. Tua just didn't play all that well. I don't know if he's gonna play or if Fitzmagic's gonna play. It's hard to say. Either way, I think they're a far more talented team than the Jets. The divisional game will look great on the record. Miami's still 6-4 in the hunt for to go to the playoffs this season. So yeah, give me. I know it's a lot of points to swallow. 7 points. And Miami's also on back-to-back games. So if you wanted to take the Jets at home, you're getting 7. In the divisional game, I understand it. I took the Jets last week, and they did cover last week. But Miami, like I said, they're all lost. I do think Miami will win. It's a good teaser play. But yeah, if push comes to shove, Miami, if it goes over 7, I'm not taking them. But it's right at 7. Miami 7 versus the Jets. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the LA Rams. San Francisco 49ers are off a bye. They are 4-6. Lost their last 3 games as they are badly beat up. They lost Seattle, Green Bay, and New Orleans. They're 2-5 ATS in the last 7. 2-5 straight up in the last 7 games. The Rams, played a phenomenal game last week. Goff was the number 1 passing leader last week in yardage. And they have the number 2 defense. I mean, if that team that showed up last week against Tampa Bay shows up this week, they will destroy San Francisco, no doubt about it. But will they? They're so unpredictable. Rams 7-3. They won the last 2 games against Seattle and Tampa Bay. They're 4-2 ATS in the last 6 games. 8-3 straight up in the last 11. 6-0 straight up at home. So they're a great home team. They should win this game easily. But it is a divisional game. San Francisco is off a bye. 7 points. If it goes over 7 points, I'm not taking it. But since it is 7 points, I'll swallow them. Rams at home, -7. Next, we got the Chicago Bears traveling to the Green Bay Packers. Chicago Bears are a 8.5 point road dog. 5-5, and they lost their last 4 games. Can you believe these guys were 5-1 at one time? Now they're 5-5. They are 7-13 ATS in their last 20 games. They lost the last 4. The Rams, New Orleans, Tennessee, Minnesota, and here they are playing Green Bay. Rough schedule, I know. Chicago is in desperation mode. They get an extra week to prepare because they're coming off a bye. Green Bay, they have the number 3 offense. Lost the Indianapolis out in overtime last week. Green Bay seems to do well in the first half, but just can't finish the game in the second half. I don't know what they're doing at halftime, and they just stop playing. I don't know. They have to be the worst second half team ever. I know I was at Valdez in overtime, second play of the game. Valdez was Scantling. Just freaking, just dropped the ball in field goal range for the Colts, and it kicks field goal, game over. So, and you got like death threats. Can you believe that from Packer fans? Death threats over a game. Can you believe? Man, that poor guy. Anyways, got Green Bay 7-3. Lost the last game in Indianapolis. They were 2-4 ATS in the last 6, so not doing well. 13-4 straight up in the last 17 games, so they're still winning, just not covering. 10-2 straight up in the last 12 games. I'm taking Chicago in here. Trubisky's going to be playing, I believe, and I'm getting 8.5 points in a divisional game. Chicago off a bye. I think their defense is strong. So give me Chicago plus 8.5 points. Last but not least, we got the Monday Night Football game. The Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Seattle Seahawks are a 5.5 point road favorite. Seattle 7-3, won their last game against Arizona. They are 2-4 ATS in the last 6, keeping it close. 7-3 straight up in the last 10, 6-0 ATS versus Philly. Philadelphia is 3-6-1. They're still leading the NFC East somehow. They lost their last 2 games against the Giants and Cleveland. The Philadelphia is 3-8 ATS in the last 11, 2-4 straight up in the last 6. This is another game that might be raining. I'm looking at keeping an eye on the weather. So it might be a slow, sluggish game. 5.5 points. It's right there. It's right 5.5 points. You can't really do much with 5.5 points. Seattle, I remember winning a ton of money once. It might have been a few years back when they were doing well, and they went into Philadelphia. The spread was 2, and I hammered on that, and they won by 3. So it was real close. They are 6-0 ATS versus Philly historically. So yeah, I think I'm going to take Seattle. I think they're a better team by far. 5.5 points, still under a touchdown. Philadelphia's doing horrid unless they play phenomenal. I know Seattle has like zero kind of defense, but Philadelphia's zero kind of offense. So kind of nullifies that. Russell Wilson, obviously, if he has a great game, he's going to just roll right over the Eagles. So, yeah, give me Seattle minus 5.5 points. All right, that about wraps it up for the week. I'm still glad for those who stick around and watch. I forgot to put that in there. I thought I saw that in the comments, but I went back and I didn't see it. So, I'm an IT guy I do in the healthcare business, so I'm on the front lines with IT care. If a doctor who's in surgery, need to rush in and his computer's not working, I'm there to help. So I'm right on the front lines. I do a lot of remote stuff now because of COVID. Yeah, it's a living. Someday I hope to retire. I do run a small business for graphic art, so I do a lot of illustration and a lot of modeling, 3D modeling, things of that nature for small businesses who I keep the price low and I get a ton of work in. So if I'm not working IT, I'm working on my business. And then, what else did I say? And then I got these projects like this, in my YouTube, just for fun and watching games. Sundays, I usually just take the day off. All I do is just watch football. And then, that's where I'm at. And I'm still glad you're here. I'm still glad you enjoy my videos. And I will see you next week as usual. Peace.
Want to look like a pro? CustomJerseysPro.com has what you need for any sport. Create your custom jersey by color or style from thousands of designs made for you or your team. Use PIX as a discount code at checkout and save an extra 8% on your next order. Remember, CustomJerseysPro.com and be the next professional in your neighborhood.
You enjoy placing a few bucks on your favorite team? Maybe try your hand at cards or on the slots. Use me as a reference and head over to my Twitter and click on the link below and receive a new member bonus and help support this channel. Bovada. Just better.